Yo, come on back into the building, you guys. Building. Welcome back to the morning show. Welcome back to the HerbMan morning show. All right, welcome back to the HerbMan morning show. I am your homie HerbMan. But you back upside the head with another hot banger booger. We ain't gonna let them stop us, y'all. They trying to stop us, man. They trying to put every tool that they can use to suppress this information. And like I told you, they got the lights going out over here in South Africa on me. They got the water going out on me. They got the Wi-Fi going out on me. They got everything. They're trying to do everything they can to suppress the information. This is in the numbers. When you are talking about, I don't even care no more if y'all here or not. I'm just gonna go ahead and go through my spiel. I know these folks say everything I need to say here, but what we're going to do is say what we got to say in the time allotted. Okay, so at the end of the day, you must understand that numbers is the language. Numbers is the language of nature. Period. Point blank. Bottom line. When you're looking for someone who's really trying to heal you, and you've reached man's intellect, meaning that they can't figure your problem out no more. They can't nobody figure your problem out. The CAT scan, the PET scan, the chemo, the doctors, the Mayo, whoever you reached intellect about an issue going on in your life. And it seems like your therapist can't figure it out, your psychologist can't figure it out, your doctor, your pastor, your mama them can't figure it out, your grandmama them can't figure it out, your friends can't figure out what's going on with you. You can't figure out how to get over the hump of what's going on in your life, and you need healing. This healing ain't just about a physical ailment, but this is about an emotional thing going on, or mental illness, or it could be a spiritual illness, right? You still need healing. It could be a financial healing. You still need healing. It could be a social healing. You still need that healing. So this ain't just about healing your body. This is about healing, period. How to heal something, how to mend something, how to rejuvenate something, how to recuperate something, how to get back into the game, how to be able to go beyond man's intellect about a subject matter that may be pertaining to you in a critical moment of your life. You need the answer, and man don't have it. Where do you go? There's always been a man who can go somewhere. There's always been a woman who can tap into it. Back in the day, they called these little young girls oracles. Okay, then sometimes along the line, they started calling them witch doctors and voodoo priests and witches and all these other folk that I don't know what name y'all got for the folk. Now, they were called the all kind of stuff that we call these folks that know how to talk to nature. And nature and the relationship between man and land has always been at the precipice of spirituality. Way before we invented religion, the spirituality came from the relationship between man and land. That relationship between that other thing that I got that's backing me. When you can't do it, then the earth always got your back. And so my point to you is that in healing something, you get to man's intellect, but do you not know that there's another room in you? There's another power source in you. There's another connectivity in you. You're not just electromagnetic and then just think of that as one thing, although we describe it as a one force, the electromagnetic force. I get that, but you got the electric and you got the magnetic by themselves too. So if electric ain't working, sometimes you got to go over here to magnetic, and if intellect ain't working, sometimes you got to go to intuition. What I'm trying to say to you is that when the facts can't help you no more, when the fact of the matter is we've done all we can, when the fact of the matter is it seems like this is the last end of the road, this is all I got, when my back is against the wall, the fact of the matter is I am poor, I am broke, I don't have no money for food, for the bills. The fact of the matter is I ain't got nobody to help me. The fact of the matter is if I even tried to help myself, it would still be longer than the situation need be. McDonald's still gonna take a month to hire you. You need the money now. That's the facts. So then the fact of the matter is probably stay in the situation today if you don't have some faith. So faith intuition, feminine energy, this other magnetic thing in you is another pool of energy we can use when your body is down, when your body can't figure it out, when your body can't recuperate itself. Even though it has a self-healing mechanism within it, sometimes you can get so de-energized, right? De-energized. The food is de-energizing you. The water is de-energizing you. You got lifestyle things that are going on that are de-energizing you stress-wise, right? So you get de-energized so much that the self-healing active, you know how your phone battery get low sometimes? When your phone battery gets so low, some of them apps ain't gonna work no more. Because it done went into battery saving mode. And so your body is a lot like that as well, that when your body gets so de-energized, then that self-healing application, you ain't got enough power to do that. Your shit on battery saving mode. So now, how do you heal a feeble kidney that don't work? Now, how do you heal a feeble, debilitated heart or pancreas or gallbladder or liver or intestines that don't work, or bladder or prostate or uterus that is offline? It doesn't work properly. So if it's de-energized, then you got to energize it up. But with what energy? So a lot of times you'll see that you're trying to use herbs to energize this. That's supplemental energy, but it's not enough. Then a lot of times you'll try to use foods to energize it. But if your foods ain't really highly electric, then it's not going to be enough, right? So if you're eating grocery store food or mass-produced, mass-induced food, if it's mass-produced, it's mass-induced, so it doesn't have enough life to have enough electricity to give it the charge that it needs to crank it up, to get the battery charge up enough for self-healing activation to now become applicable, for you to still be able to use this app. So then the thing is then understanding is, okay, the brother trying to tell us that there's a way to balance this equation out, because right now you are imbalanced. So what we're saying is, allow me to uplift your mind and spirit. Well, how are we going to uplift your mind and spirit, HerbMan? When you say uplift the mind and the spirit, what does that entail? First of all, understanding tendencies, and let's see if are we dealing with any of these, because remember that this is a private room right here, right? For most of us that don't know about this room in us, we've never ever ventured into this room. Well, guess what? When you don't know anything about this private room right here, then this can become a casket instead of a treasure trove. Right? It's really a treasure trove full of tools and full of things that you got to your disposal that you never even understood before. It came with you in your birthday package. It came with you in your birthday suit. Okay, these are little buttons that you ain't even know to push in your little space suit you got on, but they're there. Now, if you don't know anything about them, then that becomes a graveyard for a lot of different things that you could utilize for your benefit. Okay, so what we nature in a way and expose you. I ain't just talking about going to take your ass outside. We're going to expose you to your nature first, how you really are, the tendencies that you came with, your nature to lie, your nature to be deceitful, your nature to be walking around here stressed and fearful and worrying, your nature to be very attached to things, your nature to be very this or very that. We got to get into your nature. Okay? And once we get into your nature and try to get into this little secret room and really just start to dig through the little casket of things that you got that you done buried in this little room, or either we're going to show you how to use the tools that you got in your treasure trove. Regardless, we're going into this room, and then we got to clean it, or if we got to educate you on how to use what you got here, is what we're going to do. What we believe is that this is going to now remove the obstruction that it's caused by the mind being away from the body. Now you said that how can your mind be away? You never know about a man being in prison. The body is in prison, but the mind is free. Okay. So we walk through that. Depression and anxiety, depression and worrying is mind not being in the present moment with the body. When you get diagnosis, when you get cancer diagnosis, when you get dialysis diagnosis, when you get these blood pressure readings and get these things are doing something to you that causes your mind to either go into the past or into the future. When you get these traumas, when you get these post-traumatic stress disorders and don't understand them, they put your mind either into a worried or anxious state or either a depressed state. You got a lot of our young ladies, when we get into puberty, we start getting peer pressure. When we start getting peer pressure, we also start getting a lot of other things. When women start coming into their cycles, they start actually coming into their spiritual realm as well. So they start seeing shit, they start dreaming vividly. And then on top of that, you talking about being pretty for somebody at school. So you got all of this stuff going on in the waters of the bodies of women and men and boys and girls every day, all day long, that's causing this tidal wave of imbalance. And we got to learn how to control them, because when the waves get out of control, they start to cause corrosion, erosion, dysfunction within the organ system of your body and the cellular systems of your body, because the cells got to swim in these waves. They got to be created in this atmosphere that you are now intensifying. So the turbulence from the outside of you is creating turbulence within you. And we teach you how to balance that. So we uplift the mind and the spirit by getting you back to understanding your nature along with nature. So now you say, well, now when you tell me about my nature, then how is nature going to help me? Once we start to open up what you need to be doing to handle these spiritual tendencies, you get all of this in your owner's manuals, by the way, okay? For a funky measly $50 and your birthday, this is what we offer you, all right? A program, not a project. And we believe that this program, once you understand, okay, these are the things that I came with anyway. I understand me better now. It ain't just that somebody did something to me to cause this. These are parts of me anyway. These are things that I would have done regardless of some of these lifestyle things would have happened to me or not, because they are my actual tendencies. Now, guess what? Now I realize that God knows me better than what I ever thought. I thought God don't know me. I thought God ain't gonna be there for you. I thought God ain't gonna show you and reveal you himself. I thought God ain't gonna do this. I thought God wasn't gonna do that. But really now, this brother is really on this goddamn platform trying to tell us that they have been covering up the truth about a lot of things, and God knows you better than you know yourself. But you got to go to talk to God. You got to go back to nature. I can't help you talk back to mom and daddy though. That's a relationship that you got to go back home. The prodigal son. A lot of y'all don't know where home is at. So when it's time to go back home, you can't hear yourself. You done got out here in this world, done got hurt, done got beat down, done got the trotting, done got just toe up by not understanding the body and the mind and the earth and the consumptive behavior and addictive behavior that you can have when you're in heaven with all this good stuff at your realm. Everything is about your will. You can have anything you want. That's heaven. You out here, you can be anything, do anything, go anywhere. All this is heaven. And guess what? You didn't know that you have a consumptive nature. So you don't know that even though I woke up in the mall, if I keep going over here to Zales every day, or if I keep going over here to this store or that store every day, it's not meant for me to do that. It's meant for me. This mall so big that it's literally meant for me to go in each store every day. I shouldn't be in one store more than one day. Well, why? Because I like that store. Why I can't keep going in it? Because that's not the point. The point is not to get addicted to one thing that's good. The point is to observe everything and give an opinion about all things here. The point ain't about eating the one slice of pizza when I done came here and told you that you got the whole pizza. Now, who gonna eat just one slice of a whole pizza they bought for themselves? I don't give a damn if you went in there and bought a personal pan pizza, you ain't finna eat one. Unless it's just nasty like that. That's your pizza. That's your pizza. That's your personal pan pizza. And you mean to tell me that you just gonna eat a slice of it? And that's the part we're trying to get you to understand. There's more. There is more, my brothers and sisters. Okay? There is more. And as a holistic practitioner, I want to teach you about that and educate you about that more instead of getting you to keep being treated out of your ignorance of this more. You'll continue to be in treatments that are not working because you're being split, you're being fragmented. You're not designed to work fragmented, you're designed to work holistically. So if the body and the mind ain't in the same agreement, in the same alignment, then it's going to disconnect your connection. You're not designed to work with somebody working on your head, another person working on your hand, another on your feet, another person working inside of you, another person working on. You're not designed to be fragmented and broken up. You're not designed to go to a preacher for one thing and then go for a doctor for one thing and then go to. You're not designed to be fragmented or broken up. You're not designed to be individualized. You're designed to work in a oneness. So what happens is that fragmentation, all of these broken pieces, all of these different people you're going to for answers and questions is going to continue to keep you disconnected from the truth within, is that you must work in a oneness. And somebody eventually in this world got to show us what that oneness looks like and how my grandmama can do it, how the baby can do it, how Rico in prison can do it, right along with Jerry that free can do it. How all of us can get it. Not just about the folk with money and not just about the folk that's poor as hell, but what about all of us, the folk that's in the middle, the top, the bottom, all around? We need it for everybody. I ain't talking about the folk that just know English either. I'm talking about the folk that talking Japanese. I'm talking about the folk that talking Chinese. I'm talking about the Asian, the Australian. What is it out here that's for everybody outside of nature? Nature is for everybody. All of us is experiencing this day who didn't wake up, everybody who woke up this morning is experiencing it. So that means that you're experiencing it all together. So we're operating in a oneness, although we're all individualized and fragmented. But when it comes down to your own personal designs and issues, you need to get the original design in order for you to be able to defeat that. You should not be poor in 2025. The reason why you're poor is because you have not yet learned true nature, your nature and true nature, to know that ain't nowhere in the hell that you should be lacking anything with all of this abundance. So if you coming into this paradigm, whether you in Africa, whether you in Asia, I don't care where you at, you should automatically know that there should be no reason for you to be impoverished. With all these cell phones and TVs and all this stuff going on now, all this sharing of information, I don't give a damn if you were born with the monkeys in the woods. News would have got to you by now. You know you got the whole piece of the pie. You know the whole piece of yours. Then. You ain't heard that yet. That word out now, they say the whole piece out. Shit. That's got to be reverberating. So at this particular point, the people who are staying in a cyclical cycle of systematic oppression are people who are not yet willing to really embrace God, to embrace nature. You can say you want to all you want to. But see, embracing nature is going to bring peace in a place of chaos. Getting back to nature is going to give you a certain of commitment instead of all of this stress. Nature also is going to teach you how to be patient, because patience is a virtue. And you got to wait on God. You got to wait on these seasons to happen. You got to wait on this connection to happen. You got to wait on this balance to take place. So you got to be patient again. But see, because you are not worshiping true God or true nature, and you're not going by that's directive. So you got to wait on directions if you're going by God's directive. But if you out here on you do what you want to do whenever you want to do. There's no directive. You ain't got no weight. But guess what? You ain't got no weight, so you end up being a patient to man. So you impatient to nature, and so you end up being a patient to man's care. And there's fallibility in man's understanding and intellect. I'm telling you, there's some stuff going on now, metamorphoses, and there's some mutations going on that intellect ain't going to be able to solve. And we got to be able to get intuitively more consciously higher than the level that we're on now as a group, so that we can start facilitating these things. The more you understand about the conservation and preservation of nature, the more you'll understand the significance of that when it comes to the conservation and the preservation of your nature. That means that you can't be in the mall too consumptive or too addictive. That's a lesson in all of this. You woke up in a mall full of everything. You woke up with free will. You woke up with the ability to go anywhere, do anything you want to. I know that that's very hard to fix an addictive behavior in a life full of I could do what I want and have what I want. But that is a lesson, none of that. It's a reason why I'm gonna put you in heaven and see if you turn that motherfucker into hell. Because that's a mind state. How dare you come into this heavenly understanding and make it hellacious because of your inability to know thy nature, to know thyself. And it is out of the ignorance of the people that is creating industry. And it says that my people die because of the lack of what? The knowledge of themselves. And you want to shun me, you want to toot up your nose because I cuss every now and then on the live, but you don't realize what I'm offering you. And it's hidden up under those things because some of y'all just ain't ready. And so, hey, look, nature knows. Nature knows how to make me be me and not try to be the most popular. That way, I don't get everybody. I only get the people that's ready because they're spiritually hearing the words and understanding through a vibration. They can see straight through them cuss words and get it. They can get it through the cuss words. You know why? Because there's a frequency in what I am teaching and putting out here that only people who are connected to the frequency I would want anyway. So that's why I ain't going to change the personality, because the personality is my nature. So God is using my nature. Nature is using my nature to connect with somebody else on the same nature, on the same frequency. And then guess what? Even through that connection, we can help. Because we're connected. And we're going to put the mind back in the present moment with the body and bring and sever that connection. Not sever, but bring that, mend that connection back together. And all we require is the mind to stay focused and concentrated so that they can stay positioned with the body just this little time to get this little spiritual healing energy over here, this magnetic energy over here, to help out with these kidneys that you can't do by yourself and with these herbs and food. I'm trying to teach you how to heal. That's what I told you. Welcome to the morning show. All we're attempting to do is bring that consciousness and the energy that possessed over here to help out with the food and herbs, whatever else we're doing with this person to heal. Now, I'm illustrating this to you in the most finite, the most simplest way I possibly can, but they do this in retreats all the time. You can go to the Buddhist retreats, you can go to the monk retreats, you can go to Dr. Sabi retreats. All of this stuff has this in it. I remember back when I was 19 years old, I went to a Alcoholic Anonymous in the military. They sent me over to, I was stationed in Sasebo, Japan, but I got sent to Tokyo, Japan, right? Sent me to the most beautifulest place in Japan, if you ask me, which was a nun kind of grounds. I guess you want to call that, right? But it was a retreat for alcoholics. So they sent me there for 30 days. I'm 19 years old. The most beautiful place I ever seen in my life. It was on a hill. It had all these dips and valleys, and it had all kinds of plants and all kind of walkways and all kind of streams. And you know, all you did is woke up every day and just walked the premise. You just walked up the mountain and down the mountain and walked through all them things and saw all the different you know, things that the shrines and stuff that were hidden in these different things. But all they were doing was sending your ass out there to nature every day. And then every now and then somebody might come and talk to you about some psychological things. Back into the present moment with the body. So then you start seeing people who were oblivious of nature that start looking at nature. You know why? Because my mind got back into my body and started to see the present moment. And I'm like, damn, this shit beautiful than a motherfucker. Life is beautiful. The world is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm worth more than just a drinking every day. That's all this really is. You know what I mean? It's getting to how nature gave my value of life back. Because the Navy was trying to strip me of the value of my life. So I went to drinking because, see, my mind wasn't in my body. Because I'm trying to fight the Navy from trying to take my mind too. So you understand me? So instead of the Navy taking my mind, I let alcohol take it. That way you can't get it, motherfucker. I ain't going to give it to you. I'm not finna die for no anything. I don't give a damn what you said. I know I came in here, but I want to go home too. Hell is you saying. So I had that mentality. I was fighting for my mind. So I would allow drinking to get my mind instead of them. So they said, oh, okay, he got a drink problem. I'm going to send him over here. No, I don't. I just know what to do to keep my mind. But then when I got over here to the Buddhist, to the Japanese folk stuff, temples and shrines and getting their little property and just saw nation. And remember, I was on an alcoholic retreat at 19. Your boy done been know this stuff now. I'm 46 years old. Y'all don't know me. That's why I try to tell you, you can't go read books to know this. You got to live a life to know this. I done lived a life for this knowledge, not a book. Not somebody else. This is my shit. This is my reflection of my relationship with nature to you. We're all reflections. The moon is a reflection of the sun. The earth reflects the sun. The woman reflects the man reflects the woman. So my point to you is that this is just a reflection of my relationship with nature that I'm sharing with you about how I learned how to talk to mom and daddy them. Not your physical mom and daddy them. I needed somebody that know more. I'm a Gemini. I need to know more. I need to know more than the computer. I need to know more than Bill Gates. I need to know more than Trump. I need to know more than your pastor. I need to know more than Dr. It ain't else. I'm not going to go to Bill Gates every fucking financial question I got. So that means I want to know finances. I'm not going to go to the pastor with every thing I got going on spiritually. That means I need to know God. I'm not going to go to the doctor every time I got a goddamn ache. That means I need to know a little bit about first aiding myself. I'm not going to go to somebody else when this is my life. And for your little funky measly $50, we're trying to advocate this understanding to you to take it back to your own hands. And when we're going to take it back to our own hands, then it's got to be simple. It got to be something everybody can do. And that thing has to be focused and concentrate long enough to stay in the moment so that we can get this cross over the River Jordan to happen, so that we can get this crossing of the Red Sea to happen, so that we can get this 40 years from the wilderness to the land of Canaan to happen, so that we can get this exodus to happen, so that we can get this transition to happen, so that we can get your transformation to happen, so that we can get the healing to happen for you. We have to open up this connection line. It's the obstruction that you are imbalanced. It's off kilt. So it's not synergizing. Anytime the mind ain't with the body will, it's basically the mind victimizes your body. I'm going to keep saying this on these lives on YouTube so y'all can understand. When your mind is not in the present moment with the body, that is a really high time for your mind to victimize your body. You leave your body vulnerable to your addictions. The reason why you can't stop doing dope is because your mind ain't in your body when you do dope. It takes your mind away. So you'll fuck around and kill yourself on dope because you ain't got no buffer, no stop. There ain't no stop sign in you. Well, what is your stop sign? Your mind. It's not your body. Your body will go and go and go. The lesson they're trying to teach you in the Bible about the flesh. Die to the flesh, die to the self. Why? Because in a mall full of shit that's yours, you will overconsume if you let the body do all the talking for you in this paradigm. Or not even doing all the talking and walking. If you not understanding the connection between mind and body. If you keep Eve away from Adam, if you keep them talking shit to each other, if you keep them one argument away from divorce, if you keep them in disagreement, in disconnect, if you keep left brain and right brain from working together all the time, if you keep doing mostly left brain stuff instead of calling on right brain, if you keep doing right brain stuff instead of calling on left brain, if you stay one-sided all the time, and not having an eagle's eye view of issues, then you start getting imbalanced. You start saying, well, you know what? Masculine energy run this realm better than feminine energy. Okay, but feminine energy got some healing over there for you that you're going to need. So you can't just suppress that in you like that. And so now you sick and body is feeble. The power is in the mind and the spirit. Okay. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual for a funky measly $50, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. Any questions? Any questions? I started this video this morning. They kept trying to buffer us, and that's cool. I appreciate all of you guys that have stayed with us thus far. This is our second or third time attempting to come on and do the morning show. Okay. We're trying to get this information out as quickly as possible, just in case they try to do anything, because they ain't just messing with my TikTok, they mess with my YouTube as well. Okay. So we're being under this heavy oppression of just source and energy frequencies trying to get interrupted. That's fine. You know, when you're walking into the room and you got a big energy frequency, you might start to see the lights blink a little bit. You might start to see the Wi-Fi act a little fool a little bit. It's because your energy, you know, you carrying in big frequency. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because we got to understand that all of this stuff is all about the waves, the frequency, the wavelengths, all about numbers. Wavelengths are measured in numbers, right? So figuring out where you are in life, figuring out how you got there and what you need to do to get back to where you need to go. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find the lost people out here, the lost people. There is going to be an indication of you being lost. There is an indication of you being lost. There are a lot of indications of you being lost. One is if you're sick and you cannot get well, you're lost. Okay? You need to know where you are. We can find you. I'm going to just put this out here like this. Another one is if you are going through social anxieties, can't get along with nobody, can't be around nobody, you lost. We can find you. Okay? If you are suffering from poverty in a diabolical way, you just ain't got nothing to eat, nothing to do, nothing to do, and you out here experiencing poverty, bum, you know, and it ain't by choice, you're lost. Because there's really no reason for you to be in those situations outside of you just choosing to live that way. There's really no be there other than you being lost and confused about your human frame and your human design. That's not, that life ain't never, you never even supposed, how in the hell could you be in poverty when you can will your way to anything you want? So somebody somewhere has engineered you to not even know your will, that you can will something. And so many people done wheeled their way out of the woods. There's so many people that done wheeled their way out of the mountains. There's so many people that done wheeled their asses up out of them dungeons and valleys. So you can roll out of that situation. So we got to reintroduce this information to you, to find you, to let you know that what's happening is you don't have the knowledge of thyself. There's some stuff out here, man, that know you better than you. Y'all better be careful. Because you get manipulated, especially when you don't have your mind in your body. That means I got a free stock If you know anything about the history of stocks and bonds, it was bodies first. So when your mind and in your body, it's easy. You zombie. You the Walking Dead. You eyes wide shut. You a target for anything. You a target for the market on any level. I told you, out of your ignorance, you're creating industry. So when you walking out here, goddamn dumb and gone, your mind gone and your body out here, oh boy, you a target for the market. I'm gonna sell you anything. Well, what you want? What you want, pimp? Because what I instantly see in you is lost. It don't even matter about what you look like. You can market standpoint is lost. So a doctor gonna pick on you. You lost. Religion gonna pick on you. You're lost, y'all. Out of your ignorance, you're creating industry. I want y'all to get that, man. You don't need nothing because you were connected to the source. Why would you need creation when your relationship from creation is supposed to be with the creator? Creation is asking creation. Who know how to talk to the creator? Somebody. Lead me to him then. If y'all find him and y'all know him, you let me know. Who one of us knows how to talk to the creator? I'm tired of asking your motherfucking ass for direction, man. I'm tired of asking you. You are in the same thing as me. You're journeying in this motherfucker, and you just as lost on this yellow brick road as me. Just because you got a title or a manager or wife or married or some children or some money don't mean shit, man. Because that ain't what this is about. Children is not what the yellow brick road is about. Marriage is not what the yellow brick road is about. Rich ain't what the yellow brick road is about. You can pick up those things along the yellow brick road, but that ain't what that yellow brick road is about. Again, you in the mall going shopping and you've been a little too consumptive because your mind ain't in your body. And some of that shit, you're walking, you're blinded. You got so much baggage on in these things that you're taking on in this life. To think that that's what life is about. Shit, you can't tote all of that through this goddamn journey. No wonder you're gonna leave here away from here early. Look at all the baggage you got with you, thinking that that's all your stuff. It was all my life. Yeah, it was all your life under the blindedness, under the veil. I'm trying to show you what life is like when you remove the veil. Lot less stressful things that you got to put in your tote bag and tote around with you, call it life. Also, that baggage makes it very hard. That de-energizes you as well. So you got all this baggage that's also playing in de-energizing. You got the food de-energizing, the water de-energizing. What can help you? It has to be a focus and understanding that somebody within us has to be able to show us about the power that really lies within us and understand that we needing to uplift our minds and spirit to help some of this physical conditioning that we got going on. And it is through body preservation that we must be able to live in this paradigm as long as we can. Who want to live? I want to live with God as long as I can. I have never seen nothing more beautiful than life. I have seen nothing more beautiful than in living color. I have seen nothing more beautiful than what I see when I open up my eyes every day. Yeah, I go through some stuff, but it still ain't got nothing on the beauty that I am beholding on an everyday basis. I'm talking about from an ant to a woman to a tree to a fruit to the sky to the rain to the ocean to the moon to the I don't give a damn. The only thing that's fucked up out here is people. Everything else beautiful. And even the people that's fucked up is beautiful. So everything in this paradigm to me is masterfully and wonderfully made. So I understand who I am. And that's the only reason I still am existing. Because I know how to take a breather. I know how to sit on the passenger side of this journey and let God drive. I know how to sit on the passenger side of this journey and let nature have its way. A very scary, scary thing. especially when you got your back against the wall. To let nature do, I've never depended on nature to just do what it gonna do. I gotta know a way out of this motherfucker. I can't just let it just go. And then you'll realize that when you just let it go and let God, when you just let it go and let God, knowing that I'm in the pocket, right? I'm in the pocket. I have a relationship with nature. I have the relationship with nature because I know now how nature speaks to me, and I know how to speak to nature. Well, how do nature speak? Well, it ain't in English words. See, God don't speak in English. He don't speak in Afrikaans. She don't speak in Australian. She don't speak in Chinese and Japanese. God does not speak in language of letters, but of numbers. God speaks through patterns of numbers. And when you know numbers, you know nature, and numbers hold language. And that's why your birthday is the most important information that we would need to go back to nature with. Because that is going to remind nature of your recording. Nature got so many creations. When did you get into the paradigm? I came in the paradigm in 1979. Bloop. Then there's a record, the book of life on you. Your owner's manual ain't for your cousin. Your owner's manual may not work for your husband or your daughter now. So it's for you. The owner of your vehicle is you. You get that for that funky meal. You get this diagram, you get foods, you get herbs, you get lifestyle activities, you get the whole song of what we've been talking about in your owner's manual. We're offering back into your own hands. I'm offering you education about your health, not a product or treatment about your health. So that for you'll understand that I don't want you to stand in line to get a 2-piece fish and some fries every day, because that keeps me at the restaurant your little money to buy 2 pieces of fish and fries. No, I don't want to be at a restaurant every day. I don't want to be in prison to your wants, needs, and desires, my brothers and sisters. So I need for you to have it on your own, and I can just go about my business. So guess what? I teach your ass how to fish if you like fish that much. So instead of you coming to me every day paying $20, $25 for the 2 pieces of fish, pay $50 and get your ass on there. You know how to fish, and stop worrying me. Now I'm going about my business. Can I live this life without being obligated because of your ignorance? If you ignorance, then you should be a free person. But realizing that what I'm trying to do is when I eradicate the ignorance of your knowledge of yourself, then not only does that make you a free person, but it also makes me free from your ignorance. So now I'm not in prison to your desires because you don't know how to do something that I know how to do. Now we both know how to do it together. I'm free from you, you free from me, and we both free in nature. Now I don't have to be no service provider to your little motherfucking funky wants and needs. We got to understand the human design and the human frame. Now you add this into that and you realize that you don't need to be working for nobody. You shouldn't be working, period. God got the sun. What you need electricity for? God got the water. What you buying what bottled water for? God got the trees. So why you just can't build your own shelter? Why you buying construction? Because you're not in tune with your nature. You should be one with these woods good enough to know how to cut wood and build your own home. You should be one good enough with nature to know that it is in the balancing of your circadian rhythm, which is what keeps you in homeostasis. So if you just rise when the sun rises and take your air to set when the sun set, then you'll be back in tune with nature. And that right there will solve most of your problems. But these little small little things we putting in here for that little funky measly $50 to let you know it don't cost no arm and a leg to get this thing, and it's free, y'all. It really is free. But I'm gonna charge your ass $50 to learn free shit. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna charge your ass $50 to learn free shit. Because the bottom line is, once you see how much free shit it is, there's no need for you buying nothing no more. What you buying? You know how this thing go now. You know what you need. You know what you need. Distilled water and purified water are very good cleansing agents, but they are not quantified as food. Water that we talking about is food. How is it food? How do you use food as medicine? Because you got to know what the medicine is in the food, which is the same calcium deposits and magnesium deposits and all this that's in dirt is also in the rocks. So when you're growing your food, you got all of that in dirt. And when it rain and you got these rivers and lakes, you got all that on the river banks, the rocks. So they're collecting these calcium, magnesium, but that's in essence food for you. And that's real water. So natural spring water and well water is the one that's coming from that, right? Because you got aquifers, you got wells under the ground, and then you also have your natural springs. That's your water. So don't keep asking me about no water, alkaline water. What about the water that's in that little hydrogen machine? If you throwing water through a machine, y'all already know that wasn't the water you supposed to. Okay, I'm just make sense now. If my water got to run through this machine, why machine got to touch organic in me? The machine is nature. The filter ain't that little plastic filter that they bought with your thing. The filter is the rock water. The processor of fruits and vegetables ain't a juicer or a blender. The processor of fruits and vegetables is your stomach and your intestines. Your stomach is the blender and your intestines act like the juicer, or the juicer took the functionality of your intestines and then made a juicer out of it. Your intestines squeeze the juice, blended, or that smoothie that comes from your stomach. So it goes in the stomach, gets blended up as a smoothie. That smoothie now comes down the duodenum, the small intestines. Now it starts the squeezing and the absorbing. Okay? Now it's the squeezing and the absorbing of what? Of the calcium, the magnesium, the sodium, the phosphorus, and all of that. It don't need nothing else. All your body operates off of is liquid. It throws away the rest. It don't like fiber. Your body don't keep fiber. It don't like none of that shit. So it like juice. It like everything in a ionic bonding. So when you know anything about the pH scale, when you know anything about the periodic table, you know you're looking at non-metals and metals. Well, what bonds them together is what you call ionic bonding. One of the best ionic bonders is water. So why our Nutrimos is good, because we use water as chemistry. It's chemistry. Okay? So that's why a man can put a light bulb in salt water and it'll come on, but if you put it in sugar water, it won't. Why? Because the sodium and the chloride is a metal and a non-metal, and the water acts as the ionic bonding, the electric connection between the two, and now you can put a light bulb in it and it's got some electricity in it. That's what you need in your food. So then water needs to be consistency that has ionic electricity in it. I'm sorry. Okay. So now when you go to the doctor, they give you what? An IV. That IV is salt water. Why? Because that salt water, that saline solution, is going to have conductivity. The word called is conductivity, which is going to be an electrical, is going to be a very conducive to be conducive to electricity, being conduitly able to go through it. So in other words, it's facilitating electrical signaling. Conductivity means that it's going to facilitate electrical signaling. Let me put that out there to you, okay? So now you got this conductivity, which is going to handle electrical signaling. Well, who is got the electrical signaling? Your nervous system. Your mind is in your brain. Your brain is a part of your nervous system. When we get to uplift the spirit and the mind, then now we're also dealing with the nervous system, and we're bringing electricity back into it. Conductivity. How do you measure conductivity, or how do you measure continuity? Anybody know? There's an instrumentation out there. I know I'm talking to a lot of women right now, but I know some men on here and some women that may know. But conductivity or continuity is what is the electrical conductivity or continuity in the conductivity. Meaning that is there a continuation of signaling going through this battery? So you can put something on the top of the battery, something on the bottom of the battery, and then it's going to tell you if that battery is still good or not. Okay? Now that thing is called a ohm meter, OHM. OHM is called the ohm meter. Okay? You put the ohm meter up here, the ohm meter down there, it'll tell you if your wire good, if your battery's still good. But what is this checking for? The ohm meter is only checking for continuity. Is there breakage in this line or not? A ohm meter is only checking for continuity, meaning is there breakage in this wire? That means that I can get a wire and put it on there and say, does this have ohm? Does it have continuity? It'll tell me, yeah, that means that this wire doesn't have any breaks in it. So it has a continual thing that way if I connect it without knowing that it don't have no breakage in it, when I connect, this wire is going to work. This is a good wire. The battery, it tells me it got connectivity. This is a good battery. It still has connectivity. There's no breakage in the energy. So ohms, OHM, is what they are doing in the monks. The monks is doing ohms, trying to do what? Keep their connectivity, their continuity with no breakage between the upper self and the lower self. So they are yeah, they doing that, right? Why? Because that right there is them still doing the same thing as that ohm meter. They're trying to keep the continuity, the connection between the higher self and the lower self, or between man and nature, or between body and mind, which is why focus and concentration really is the key thing. If y'all just looking at, I know it's got to be a catch in it. You got to be able to focus and concentrate, because I that's in with the body in that present moment, and you got to stay there. I can't have you worry about this shit because of the diagnosis. I can't have you second guessing this shit because what your disbelief. I can't have you talking to other folk and getting all out of your mind and getting all back anxious and getting all back depressed about what it is. So this is the hardest part, even though it's really elementary, but at the end of the day, we know it's hard for some folks to be able to do this under diagnosis, dialysis, under the stress, and under the trauma and traumatic events your ass done been in. Focusing is the last thing you can do at this moment, which is going to cause the breakage in between us being able to do this or being able to on your own. They did it a lot in the Bible, bro. Fish has a conscience too. Yeah, everything has a consciousness. Everything has a consciousness, but also everything has a season. Okay. So if you're in a climate where there's no fruits and vegetables, what are you going to eat? Okay. What are you going to eat? You know, we always talking like the whole world is a tropical climate. Okay. But the whole world is not tropical climate. Veganism is very good tropical diet. Okay. If you want to be a vegan, it's very good to do that 24 hours a day in a tropical climate. If you want to be a vegan in a temperate climate, you got to know veganism. You got to know herbs and fruits and vegetables, which means you got to be more seasonal acumen, because you got to know how to switch up your fruits and vegetables during different seasons. Remember, we got to stay in season. A lot of vegans are eating out of season, right? You want to stay tropical all year round. When America's soil gives you 4 different climates, there are going to be some of those fruits and vegetables that you would eat that are going to create mucus when they're not supposed to. Eating a pineapple in the winter is going to create mucus. Eating a pineapple in the winter will create mucus. Eating watermelon during the winter months will create mucus. They ain't meaning to. You eating them out of season though. So they will. What's going on? Australia in the building. What's happening? You know, I've been down there to Australia, man. I've been to Brisbane, Brisbane, and it was another place I went to, but Brisbane, I remember Brisbane. What do you think about a fruit diet 24/7? I just told you about that, right? Fruit diet 24/7 for what? What environment are you in that you're not taking into consideration? Our bodies are like the AC unit, okay? Your body is a lot built like the AC. It's an all-inclusive unit, right? But outside air will have an effect on the efficiency of your AC unit when it comes to your inside thermostat. Let me break this down. If it's 200 degrees outside and you put your thermostat on 66 degrees because you want to keep your house cold because it's hot as hell outside, that AC unit will have a very hard time keeping your thermostat at 65 because the 200 degrees is also causing that motherfucker to overwork. So outside air, outside temperature, called ambient temperature in HVAC talk, has an effect on the internal temperature of your home. My point to you is that outside weather has an effect on how you keep that 98.6 degrees inside of you. So you got to quantify that. So if I'm in cold, is going to be hard for me to keep 98.6. Then if I'm eating watermelon and pineapple, it's going to be even harder for me to keep that 98.6 because you eat them during the hot months because they cool you down. So now I got outside trying to cool me down. I got what I'm eating out of ignorance trying to cool me down. And my body trying to keep this shit warm because it's under that heat that I'm creating the healthy cells, healthy blood. So you're usurping and de-energizing your body even more when you're drinking cold water in a cold climate, drinking cold water behind oily foods when you don't know what you're doing. That's my point. When you don't know what you're doing. See? And it makes it harder for the body to keep that body temperature, which then de-energizes you. All right. How do we know what makes growth building up? You got to meditate. Also, I think that sweating is good for you. Yes, sweating is a part of it. Okay, sweating is a part of it. That's what we put in our detoxes, right? Herbs that make you sweat, make you cough up mucus, defecate, and urinate. Because we're using those 4 pathways of elimination to get this excess mucus out of the body, aka excess acids, right? But we don't want to just focus on your kidneys because we don't know how overwhelmed your kidneys are, and we don't want to just focus on your colon because we don't know what you done did down there either. So at the end of the day, what you do is in 4-part harmony. So don't nobody get more work done than the other one, and that's what you get with the 4 eliminator detox on our website that also you can utilize as well. Okay, that detox is a 21-day lymphatic cleanse. It's going to make you cough it up, sweat it out, urinate it, defecate it out. I'm outside in winter in Southeast Queensland, Australia. It's 58, 4 and 14 C, 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so that's what we're talking about, right? But again, 58 degrees Fahrenheit is a little bit too cool for certain people. Now, a certain amount of people need to be in tropical climates that are not in tropical climates, which is why we're getting sick so fast. Okay? Because we're getting our bodies too cool. Tropical climate people. Okay? Now you can figure out where you at. Tropical climate people in tropical climates. So you got to think of yourself as the trees and as the vegetables and fruits in that climate. Okay, so if a tropical climate doesn't drop below 70 degrees, then why in the hell is you in America tolerating 30 below? If you are tropical people, if you come from a tropical essence, your DNA holds information. Your DNA holds information, so that means that it knows about the climate that it really originated from. You ain't in it, okay? You ain't in the climate that you originally originated from. So therefore, there's mutation, there's adaptation that takes place. We get that, we got that, and we understand that. But not only does that happen with you personally, but that happens genetically. So now you done mutated and transformed to handle New York and to handle Georgia, cold-ass Georgia, and then handle this, that, and the third. But that ain't really where you're supposed to be. So now because you don't know thyself, you don't know these foods is cooling you down. Winter is cooling you down. All this stuff is cooling you down, and now that make a people who shouldn't be in temperate climate at all more susceptible to the illnesses that comes in those climates. That's why black folk can't get over a whole lot of stuff when they get it, because first of all, they're out of their element, and second of all, they're in an element that is contradictory to them being well. You're a tropical people, take your ass to a tropical climate, i.e. Dr. Sebi got his village in Honduras. I'm going to take you back. Why? Because that's the knowledge that the Mexican gave him. Hey, look, you black man, you should be on this. You should be doing this. I ain't know nothing about it was something specifically for me versus that it just was something that I knew maybe it was somebody that could heal me, but I ain't know that it was something specific for me based on my genetic predisposition, me being me. So the man taught the man not only about nature of outside, but nature of himself. Dr. Sebi took that understanding and made the African biomineral balance. First person to start talking about stuff being specifically for you versus them and the differences. But they got some stuff too that they got to learn about themselves in order to get to where they got. And we teach you all of that in your owner's manual. This don't give a damn about you being white. This don't give a damn about you being black. This don't give a damn about you being rich or poor. All this cares about is you being back in tune with nature, being back balanced, and being back one and having that relationship back with the creator, Mama Nature. That's all this care about. And you'll see that in the rekindling of your relationship with nature, you start to heal yourself. You start to figure out all the things that you start to understand. You start to light up some of these things down and depressed and oppressed and suppressed start to just alleviate. Nobody doing it but you and nature. So you can't credit me. You can't credit the church. You can't credit nothing. Is the God in you. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay. So I didn't want to stay on here long, you guys. I wanted to really make this strong. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual for a funky measly $50, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, okay? Please go tell somebody when the HerbMan comes on. Again, we come on at 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., the HerbMan morning show. We also do another second broadcast at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? Those are your 2 time slots to get me and be able to get this information into the palm of your hands. Now, if you need herbs and all that type of stuff, we can help you with all of that. But I recommend you getting this first, because my whole question going to be to you is, what did Mama say? And you need to pull up what Mama said. I don't want to ask you. You don't know what's going on with you, man. I don't like to follow your diagnosis of yourself. There's something deeper that I don't know about you, and that I need to get past your lies. I need to get past your facade. I need to get past your timidness. I need to get past your faith. I need to get past your confusion. I need to get past your doubt. I need to get past you to get into you. So I don't want to ask you for entrance. We want to ask nature. So with your birthday, we can do all of that. Any questions before I leave? Any questions before I leave? Any questions before I leave? Thank you, YouTubers. What's going on? Larry Wise, we appreciate you for tuning on in, baby. We're coming on here all the time, every time, to bust you upside the head with this hot banger. But are these stuff in the manual as well? Yes, when you get your owner's manual, you get everything about you. Okay, you get your manufacturing date, your model number, your 2 sun signs, your spiritual tendencies, your physical tendencies. You get the element that you can manipulate. You get your current positioning in the world. You get this graph. You get the tracker. You get the herbs. You get the foods. You get the lifestyle activities. Okay. You also get to know if you're in transition in life and what that means and all that type of stuff. You get to understand what side of the body to look out for. You get to understand what tide of life you're on low tide or high tide. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff. But for that little funky measly $50, that's what we're offering everybody, because we want to keep it affordable, keep it accessible. And in all honesty, nothing can stop its effectiveness. But we definitely want to keep it accessible and affordable for the least of us. Okay. Oh, okay. EA, what's going on, boy? Y'all be having thousand different names. I don't be knowing, man, but we appreciate your love on YouTube, though. I normally catch you on the tick. All right. Anybody got questions or confused at what we talking about? Okay. Anybody? If you schedule your baby's C-section, do you mess up the vibration? If you induce labor, period, outside of having to because of some medical reason, if you induce, period, you mess up the vibration. The baby should come out when the baby is ready to come out. You should not induce. Okay? The baby should come out when the baby is ready to come out. Any inducing outside of it because the baby ain't doing something they got to be doing, then yeah, you mess up that vibration. The 144,000 have nothing to do with anything outside of the number 9. Okay, and the 9 is going to be the most highest state. So that's 144,000. Not talking about people, it's talking about a consciousness. Okay, a consciousness that's going to overwhelm that particular spectrum of time, right? So it's not 144,000 people. It's just a consciousness that comes over the people. Okay, it's a consciousness, just like 666 is 18. 8 plus 1 is 9. So the mark of the beast is also a consciousness. Okay, it's a consciousness. The mark of the beast ain't a dollar bill. It ain't be stuck in your hand. You see, it said it's gonna be. It said that you would know the people by gonna have sickness on their forehead. Well, sickness on their forehead don't mean they're gonna have a tattoo, y'all. When they tell you that the people that now they said that the people that you should know, the children of God is gonna be, they're gonna use it as sickness on their forehead, right? But they're not gonna have no damn tattoo on their forehead. Okay, it ain't gonna be no tattoo on their forehead. I put my forehead up here to let you know. They ain't no put no tattoo up there. So that means that they were talking about a consciousness in mind, right? How people think. You're gonna be able to tell who's on frequency or not. And like I told you guys, when we're talking about frequency, what you got to ask somebody, what is the frequency of nature? If you're trying to get me to be in tune with nature, if you're trying to tell me to turn it on channel, whatever, for nature channel on, you need to be asking these holistic people, these Reiki healers and all these people that's trying to put you back in tune with nature with all this shit. What frequency are they on? What frequency is your spouse on, your date on? What frequency is your job on? What frequency is the money coming in? The currency that's coming in. The currency is a current, which means that it's a current, it's a wave. So that means that that currency has a frequency. Your money is holding frequency. Well, what frequency is the money holding? What channel is nature on? Men's erectile dysfunction, what's the take? Guilt and unforgiveness, Timmy Turner. Guilt and forgiveness. You done did something. You ain't got no goddamn business doing. And you be feeling guilty and you haven't forgave yourself of it. Or she done did something that you can't forgive her for realistically and it ain't turning you on. And you need to talk about it because it's not that you got erectile dysfunction. The dysfunction is in your connection mentally with your spouse. Either you thinking too much, either she ain't turning you on mentally, but that's all you got to do for a man to turn him on mentally. So at the end of the day, your mental connection has the dysfunction, not the erectile. And that mental disconnection came from some type of guilt or unforgiveness. Turner. Frequency and everything, the energy, yep. I ain't mean to hit Timmy Turner like that. I know Timmy was like, hold on, I hold on, I just asked you about I ain't tell you to put my goddamn life out there, nigga. I just asked you about it. The trust me thing, it worked, pimp. It's just that if you holding on to something or she holding on to something, the connection is not there any longer. And y'all need to talk about that. Most men erectile dysfunction is because there's the disconnect. He done did something, or he watching something, or he thinking something, or she done did something, or she watching something, or she thinking something, and y'all are not connected. Y'all no longer are kissing, y'all no longer are hugging, y'all no longer are connecting before the sexual act. So therefore, during the sexual act, there's no connection. Okay? So when you take the phone out to play, then it's just play. And so when you just playing, sometimes you don't feel like playing. Now you put the phone back into play, then all the time you feel like playing. You see? Because the foe before the play is ready to play. Y'all taking the before play out, the foe play, the before play, you take that out. Now sometimes you ain't ready to play because the before ain't done. I mean, this is elementary. I'm trying to be as simple about this stuff as possible. What about earrings and piercings? The ancient people wore earrings and piercings. The only thing about it is you got to be understanding of the metals or the stones that you're choosing to pierce yourself with. Piercings and stuff like that ain't. You got to understand the frequency in the rocks and the stones and metal that you're piercing yourself with. That's what blocks vibration. Right. So if you know the right stones and the right metals and stuff like that to keep a frequency, then they've been piercing since the beginning of time. But they pierced with things that were natural and hold energy as well. If another female's in the room, I bet you it's standing up tall. He not lying. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, it's just because it's a mental thing. Most of the guys erectile dysfunctional is because they done did some stuff, fussing and fighting, and you know how it is, co-workers and cheating, and y'all know how life go, man. Okay. Wait, so gold teeth can upset frequency. Gold has a frequency. Yes, you want to look up the frequency of gold. All this stuff has, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. You start looking at that. What metals and stuff that you're attaching to your bodies. And that's why you find a lot of people piercing with copper now. You find a lot of people wearing copper because of the frequency in which that copper holds. Actually, could you help me with the stones, bro? Nah, I'm not really big. You know, that's something that you can do for yourself if you're an earther. I don't know if you're an earther. I would need to do your owner's manual to see what element do you need to be actually working with. Slap. So you do get all that information as well, which is what I was telling you about the element. The element part of it is going to tell you, do you need to be working with stones? Or is yours going to be better water element? Or do you need to be working better with candles? Or do you need to be working better maybe with incense or maybe with outdoorsy types of things, right? So that birthday also is going to tell us which one of those elements that you really can manipulate to help you with this transition, this journey, to help you with this manifestation, to help you with this continuity, this connection. Okay? So everybody ain't the same. Just because I'm an air sign don't mean I'm going to control the air element. Okay? So there's Geminis out there that are very better with fire element, that are better with the water element, that are better with the earth element. Now, I just so happen to be better with the air element. So I'm your incense person. I got to be outside. I got to take my walks. I got to be out. I got to go outside because that's where I'm getting my download. I got to be in nature. I'm a Gemini, but I'm also the air element manipulator. So I got to talk to myself. I got to be out here walking. I can't be listening to a whole lot of people. I got to be listening to myself and nature because I'm the air element. Okay. Also because element, I'm on you, right? Because of the smoke. So you'll find that a lot of air element manifestors will be smokers. They'll be burning incense in the house, all that type of stuff. That's your element. So what I'm saying to you is don't ask me a question about stones because I don't know. And I ain't just telling you this. What I'm trying to say is mama know you. I don't. I don't.